The bail hearing of one of the accused in the Hillary Gardee murder case has been postponed to the 22nd of July. Legal representatives have told the court that accused 2 and 3 have allegedly been tortured. The matter was previously postponed after attorneys for one accused withdrew their services. Gardee's body was found days after she had been reported missing in April. Let's get the latest now from what happened in court. Silindelo Masikane tracking that story for us in Mbombela in Mpumalanga today. Good afternoon, Silindelo. What happened in court today?
Well, basically, it was a brief appearance, more of an administrative session that we saw unfolding in the Mbombela Magistrates Court, Gardee. We saw the accused coming to court a little bit late, and that is because there is a shutdown taking place here in Barberton, in Mbombela rather. And so when they were making their way from Barberton, they encountered a number of the roadblocks that have been set up by frustrated taxi drivers who have taken to the streets. And so we started a bit late, but then once we got the ball rolling inside court, then we heard some submissions from the Gardee family lawyer who had requested the court to take proceedings live. The Gardee family has now appointed legal representation on a watch brief here in the Magistrates Court, and that particular lawyer then tried to make an application to have the proceedings broadcasted live because there are family members from the Gardee family who are abroad and would like to be able to participate and actually see the court proceedings unfolding. But the magistrate ultimately ruled against that application, saying that he did not have a formal application before him, that it was simply a request, and at this point he believes that broadcasting proceedings live may taint the court proceedings, and so he said that he would request that the family make that application during the trial stage of this particular matter. We then saw the lawyer for accused 2 and 3 telling the court that he believes that there's been contempt of court in terms of an order that was made by another magistrate to have the photos taken of the injuries from accused number 2 and 3. They claim that they are being tortured inside prison, and the lawyer said that those particular photos to date have not been taken. Let's take a listen.
When a right against torture is implicated in any proceedings, as Kachalia J says, it is necessary that you conduct an inquiry, not about the evidence of the bail, about whether or not the allegations they make before you that they were tortured are correct. Only insofar as that inquiry is concerned. Through an inquiry, evidence in respect of the torture and we submit that it might very well be that these accused persons are incorrectly before you. And you will note in the judgment of Kachalia, he then refers the matter to various departments, including the Human Rights Commission. The long and short of the submission, Your Worship, is that the authorities with us, insofar as the necessity to conduct an inquiry into whether or not accused number 2 and 3, and for that matter accused number 1, were tortured, as a necessary precondition for anything else going forward.
And the state, the prosecution, what do they have to say about these submissions by the defense?
Well, they were seeking more clarity, saying they're not exactly sure who is supposed to be charged with contempt, saying that the defense can't just make a blanket statement to say that someone or the state itself needs to be charged with contempt, because the order actually did not specify exactly who should take those pictures. And so if the pictures haven't been taken by now, the state prosecutor was saying that there just needs to be more clarity as to who needs to take those particular photos. Let's take a listen.
There should be specific people that this order is directed to. LCRC is a department. You can't say any member of that department. That's point number 1. There should be a name. Secondly, there should be a date in which this should take place. He says we are in contempt. But there is no date on that application when this must be done. One can then deduct from the postponement date that it should be done before the 22nd of July. Then why do you say we are in contempt of court when there is no date that has been agreed on that this must be done before this date? So where does contempt come in? That's point number one. Point number two, has he proven before you that the SRC unit has been served with this order so that they comply with it? No, there's no evidence before you. But he's asking for contempt.
And finally, the magistrate. What order did the magistrate give?
Well, ultimately, the magistrate then made an order, Bradan, that the investigating officer would now be tasked with taking the photos of the injuries of the accused, specifying that those photos need to be taken before the next court appearance. And of course, that's going to be the 22nd of July. This is where we understand that accused number one's bail application will then continue.
The issue of the photo, it was indicated a member of the LCRC to be present. Now that needs to be arranged by the investigating officer. I'm not going to prescribe and mention a person and he's not in court and not aware of what is the position. So the issue of the photographer, a member to be informed by the investigating officer when he takes the accused from court or the accused before court to the doctor to confirm there was already an investigation, I understand, and the J88 need to be compiled. Now that report or order I want to be followed up on the next appearance, the 22nd of July, and have feedback regarding it was complied with or not.
Thank you very much. Silindelo Masikane there in Mbombela, just updating us what happened in court today.